Hi, this is Daniela Cambone, and welcome back to Stansberry Investor. We are still in Las Vegas. We're still rolling out incredible guests for you. And our next one is truly an all-star. He is a familiar face to all the NFL fans out there. Marques Colston led the New Orleans Saints, an all-time franchise leader in receiving yards, receiving touchdowns, and you brought back the Super Bowl champion to the city in 2010 alongside Drew Brees. So welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
It's a thrill to have you on the show. Some people might be thinking, well, what is Marques doing at an investing conference? They might not know you've been active in the space for close to 10 years now. You also teach. In fact, you have a course to get to, so I'll be brief with you. I'll make sure you're there on time. But tell us a little bit about that transition from NFL to being so active in this space. You were already involved as an angel investor, right?
Yeah, so I got involved as an angel investor about 3 years into my career, and I always credit I had a couple advisors on my team at the time that were former players themselves that went on to become financial advisors. So just being able to see what that transition looked like real time, it really was beneficial for me in just kind of getting that clock started early. And after my first or second investment, I started to kind of map the parallels between the entrepreneurs that I was investing in and my own journey as an athlete. And when I was able to kind of make that comparison, it allowed me to kind of see that world in a different way and be able to apply a lot of the knowledge and the insights that I had been building, trying to build my NFL career and apply them to a new world, and they kind of have a similar meaning.
Look, making it to the NFL, I mean, how many people get that opportunity? 0.00001. You defied all the odds. You made it. So you're bringing that competitive edge to investing, and you actually developed something called creating separation, which is a mindset which you've applied to investing. So, on the field, we know what that means, right? You separate yourself from the defensive players. How do you apply it to investing?
Well, it's again, it's a very similar comp. It's taking what's unique to you and really leveraging it in a way that you can create success that's not just differentiated, but also is sustainable, right? And when I think about my experience as a wide receiver, if I went out and tried to run my routes like the little really fast guys, I wouldn't have been as successful as I was. Right, so I was able to leverage what was unique to me, my size, my body control, and all of those things that made me a really good player. And I was able to use those in a unique way to create production, right? So when you start to apply that to a professional career, life as an entrepreneur, you can start to see those parallel paths. And when you can start to figure out your uniqueness and really start to leverage it in a way that allows you to create, that separation or that differentiation, eventually, it leads to success that sustains long enough that you can leave the legacy that you want.
But so here you are, extremely successful, lucrative NFL career. At the time when you were playing, I mean, when you were looking at investing, was it because you were thinking, hey, I have to do something once my career ends, or was it really a passion that you just love it?
It's one of those things that it was kind of the thing that a lot of people were doing at the time, and I got involved in it. And when I thought I wouldn't fall in love with the investing side and building a portfolio, what I really fell in love with was working with entrepreneurs and helping them kind of understand their vision and using whatever resources I had access to help them achieve their vision. So I was always an active angel investor.
Right.
I was always someone that was kind of in the mix.
You're a pioneer in the space now, and you give back a lot. I mean, I was saying you teach at the University of New Orleans. I mean, is that you must love doing this, right? Like being able to educate the next generation.
Yeah, it's something that, like I mentioned earlier, my advisors. If not for those advisors, I wouldn't have got exposed to the world that I'm in now. And the ability to have a platform that I worked my butt off to create, but to be able to have that platform and create exposure and opportunities for others to get exposed is something I'm really, really passionate about.
Marques, I'm imagining like your former NFL colleagues or whoever's in the NFL now calling you up. Does that happen and say, hey, Marques, where should I be investing? Have you become like the go-to guy?
We definitely have a lot of conversations, and it's really cool to see that narrative start to change and start to shift, to where I think a lot of people think that we're in the locker room talking football all day long, But there's a lot of business talk in there these days, and I love to see that shift.
I want to take a wild guess that you're probably asked, I don't know how many times a week, should I be in Bitcoin? Should I be? Does that happen?
That is definitely the talk of the town right now.
Right. So can you share with us sectors that you're liking or what you like to have in your portfolio?
Yeah, I mean, crypto is a space that I'm excited about. Not so much Bitcoin itself, but just the promise that crypto offers is it's a sector I'm really interested in. I've always been into technology. I've always been kind of a nerd, so that's what initially got me into the investing space in the first place. So definitely a technology guy, fintech. So a lot of those cutting edge industries are where I spend my time.
Well, you're a role model to a lot of people, I guess, to our audience members watching, maybe some of the younger folks out there. What would be some advice? Like if you could go back in time and talk to 16-year-old Marques, what would you tell him?
That's a great question. I would probably tell him that it's not as complex as you think it is. It's once you get in and you learn and you're able to apply what you know and what you've experienced in life and really understand it through your lens, it kind of unlocks the ability to go and have those conversations, which is really how it starts. And
I guess just my last question, because like I said, I started saying, you are super competitive. You beat the odds, really. How do you learn to be competitive? Do you think it's a skill that can't be learned, or is it something that needs practice?
I think it's a little of both. I think people are born competitive, but I think the learned component comes into how you apply and how you implement that competitive nature. Because the emotional side of it is only going to take you so far. But if you allow that emotion to really get you involved in like how can you go and find those competitive advantages? Those are the things. Those are the people that are able to implement it and deploy it, that can go out and do some incredible things.
Would you say you had, if I had to ask your top 3 mentors, you're obviously a mentor to many people today. Was there certain people that really influenced you?
There's so many people, and I've kind of prided myself on trying to be a sponge and learning from a place of humility.
Yeah, well, you are so humble, by the way. We've met for the first time. For being a Super Bowl champion, if I were you, I'd be rocking that ring. I'd be like, but you are so down to earth. Are you told that a lot?
I
not
get
to put
that.
you on the spot, but
I get that a lot, and to be honest, it's there's so much to learn, and I like to say I'm kind of a lifelong learner, and the more that you lead with bravado, the less you open those opportunities to learn.
Well, you have a beautiful energy. It was an absolute pleasure to meet you and interview you. Come back anytime. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Continued success. And thank you for watching. We'll have more incredible guests coming your way, so be sure to stay tuned to StansberryInvestor.com. Stay tuned.